Jenkins with GitHub and Maven integration. The project is available in Git repository, that is Java web application, which is created by using Maven. Then I have taken Jenkins software. In that Jenkins software, I have installed Java as well as Maven. In Jenkins, I installed Java and I installed Maven. Jenkins installed in Linux machine. Git client also installed in Linux machine. Okay. In regular, developers are going to do the coding. They will be doing the coding for the given requirement. They will be pushing the code to GitHub repositories. Now, as a DevOps engineer, we have to perform build and deployment activity on that code. So yesterday, the job that we created, it is responsible to perform build. That means it is going to download source code from GitHub repository and it is going to execute Maven goals, clean package. Clean means it is going to compile the source code of the Java. Clean means it is going to delete the target folder. Compile means it is going to compile the project. Package means it is going to create the jar file or war file of our application. As it is a web application, it is going to create the war file. And that war we can see in the Jenkins home directory under workspace. So that is the job we have done in the last session. Now let's move on to see the next job in the Jenkins. So today it is the combination of build and deployment. Today it is the combination of build and deployment. Now code is available in the GitHub repository. I want to create the Jenkins job. That Jenkins job should take the code from the GitHub repository. It should package that code by using Maven. It should compile and package that code by using Maven. It will create a war file. That war file should be deployed into my Tomcat server. So build plus the deployment I want to perform today by using Jenkins job. Can you guys look at the diagram and see the steps here? We need to create the Jenkins job to perform this activity. We need to create the Jenkins job to perform this activity. Guys, come on. Can you do this? Can you please read it? Step 1, developers will push the code into GitHub repository. Step 2, Jenkins is going to download the source code from the Git repository. Then Jenkins will execute the top level Maven goals. Maven is going to use the JDK compiler to compile the source code and package the project as a war file. That war file, Jenkins is going to deploy into Tomcat server. This is called build plus deployment. Build plus deployment. Build means up to packaging. Compiling and packaging is called as a build activity. Deployment means whatever the war file is created, we need to deploy that war file into server. We need to deploy that war file into server. Are you guys clear with my point? Are you guys clear with my point now? Are you guys clear with my point now? Come on, guys. Are you clear with my point? Yes. Unable to see my screen. Who is unable to see my screen? Sachin, why are you not able to see my screen? Guys, is my screen visible? For all of you, is my screen visible? Yes. Okay. Guys, now let's understand what we need to do today. Let's understand what we need to do today. Okay. Here, I have taken one EC2 instance. I have taken one EC2 instance. In this EC2 instance, I have installed Jenkins. In this EC2 instance, I have installed Jenkins. This is my EC2 Linux VM. In this EC2 instance, I have taken my Jenkins software. Inside this Jenkins software only, I have installed Java. I mean to say Java 1.8 I have installed. I have installed Maven. Right? Now, here in this EC2 instance only, I have installed, in this EC2 I have installed Git client. In this EC2 instance, I have installed Git client. In this EC2 only, I have installed Tomcat server. I have taken one computer in the AWS, then I'm doing all the setup in that computer. All right, guys. Now, Jenkins is running on the port number, Jenkins running on the port number 8080. My Jenkins running on the port number 8080. My Tomcat server running on the port number 9090. My Tomcat server running on the port number 9090. Jenkins running on the 8080. Tomcat running on the port number 9090. Inside the Linux machine, I installed one Tomcat server and I installed Jenkins and I have installed Git client. This EC2 VM is available in Linux. Guys, clear with this? Are you guys clear what is the configuration we have done so far? Are you clear with what is the configuration we have done so far? I have taken one Linux VM. In that Linux VM, I have installed my Tomcat server. Tomcat server default port is 8080. I changed that port number to 9090. Then in this Linux only, I installed one Git client software which is used to download the GitHub source code. Then I have installed Jenkins software in the Linux machine only. That Jenkins software is running on the port number 8080. Inside the Jenkins, I have installed Java 1.8 and Maven. Both softwares I have installed. Now, where is the code available, guys? Can you tell me where is my code available? Where is the code available for my project? Can you tell me where is the code available? Can I say that code is available in the GitHub? Can I say that my code is available in the GitHub repository? Can I say that my code is available in the GitHub repository? Yes, my code is available in GitHub repository, GitHub repo, GitHub repo, GitHub repo. Now, Git client is responsible to communicate with the GitHub repository to download that source code. Git client is responsible to download the source code from the GitHub repository. Are you guys able to follow this? Okay. Now, Jenkins software is going to connect with this Git software, Git client. Jenkins is going to connect with the Git client. And the Git client is going to download the code from the GitHub repository. And Jenkins is going to interact with the Maven also. Jenkins is going to download the code from the GitHub and Jenkins is going to interact with the Maven. Maven goals will be executed and Maven is going to package our project as a WAR file. Then what this Jenkins should do, the Jenkins should deploy the WAR file to Tomcat server. So now do you understand where I have installed which software? Guys, are you able to understand where I have installed which software? In the Linux, Tomcat installed, Git installed, Jenkins installed. In the EC2, I have installed Tomcat, I have installed Git client, I have installed Jenkins. Inside the Jenkins, I have installed Java and Maven. Got it? Now, guys, here, in order to do the build and deployment, we need to install one more plugin in the Jenkins that is called deploy container plugin. One plugin is required. What is that, guys? Deploy container plugin is required in the Jenkins. We need to install one more plugin in the Jenkins that is called deploy plugin. Once it is done, then my Jenkins is going to deploy that WAR file to Tomcat server. So this is what I have to do now. I have created EC2 VM created EC2 Linux VM in AWS cloud. Installed below softwares in EC2 VM. What are the softwares I have installed in the EC2 VM? I have installed Tomcat server, and I have installed Jenkins, and I have installed Git. These are softwares installed in the EC2 VM. Okay, next one, installed below things in Jenkins server. Installed below things in Jenkins server. What are the things I have installed in the Jenkins server? Inside the Jenkins server, I have installed JDK 1.8, Maven 3.6.0. Then I need to install one plugin called deploy container plugin. Deploy container plugin I have to install. So with this, we can perform this activity. Developers will push the code to GitHub. From the GitHub, I'm going to take the code by using Jenkins. Git client is available in the EC2. Jenkins also available in the EC2. In the Jenkins, I have a Maven. Jenkins is going to communicate with the Maven to execute the goals. Maven will compile the project and Maven will package the project. Once the packaging is completed, I want the Jenkins to deploy the project into Tomcat server also. In order to deploy the project into Tomcat server, in the Jenkins, we need to install one plugin, which is called deploy container plugin. What is the name of the plugin I have to install, guys? Deploy container plugin I have to install. Then once the build is a success, I will create a post build action. In the post build, I will tell that it has to deploy the project into Tomcat server as a WAR file. Are you guys clear with my point now? Are you guys clear with my point now? Are you guys clear with my point now? Good. Fine, sir. Now, let's go and start the creation of this job now. Go to EC2 instances. So let's start our instance, which I have created as a dev VM. Instance state is stopped. Let's start this instance. Observe carefully. What are the steps I'm going to follow now? Once it is started, we can connect to that EC2 by using mobile extreme software. We can connect to this by using mobile extreme. Take the public IP of this EC2. I'm taking the public IP. Session SSH remote host. Specify username is EC2 user. Advanced SSH private key. Upload this PEM file. Click on OK. Very good. Now, who am I here? I am a EC2 user. I'm a EC2 user. Good. What is my present working directory? EC2 user. ls-l. Can you see Apache Tomcat is available in our machine? Apache Tomcat is available in our machine. Okay. We know how to start the Apache Tomcat in the bin folder. Startup.sh file is available. By using that, we can start our Apache Tomcat. Okay, now we need to start our Jenkins server also. Now, in order to create the job for today, what are the changes that we need to make? Let's try to understand. Guys, now, steps to create the Jenkins job with get repo and Tomcat server. Now, in order to do this kind of management, in order to execute this job by using deploy the Tomcat, guys, now tell me, are we doing the deployment to the Tomcat server manually, or we are automating the deployment by using Jenkins? Are we doing the deployment manually, or we are automating the deployment by using Jenkins now? We are automating the deployment by using Jenkins. We are automating the deployment by using Jenkins. Okay, now, if you want to do this kind of automation, Jenkins is going to execute some script to deploy the war file to Tomcat server. I'm repeating. Earlier, we have deployed that war file to the Tomcat server manually, but now I am going to tell to my Jenkins to deploy the war file to Tomcat server. Jenkins will execute some script internally to deploy the war file to Tomcat server. In order to do that activity, our Tomcat user should have a manager script permission. There should be one user in the Tomcat with a manager script permission. Then with that user credentials, we can automate the deployment. So in the Tomcat users file, earlier we have configured a user with a manager GUI permission and admin GUI permission. Along with this manager GUI and admin GUI, you need to configure one extra role for the Tomcat user. That role is called manager script. So do you understand why we are creating manager script role for the user? Because Jenkins is going to use that user to execute the script to deploy the war file to the server. Whichever the user of the Tomcat we are using to do this automated deployment, that user should have manager script permission. Are you guys clear with my point now? Are you guys clear with my point now? What is the role that we are going to add now? Can you tell me what is the role we are going to add? Already that user is having manager GUI permission, admin GUI permission. What is the new role we are adding today for the user? Manager script permission. Manager script role we are adding. What is the purpose of adding manager script role? That user will have a permission to execute the script. Then with that script, that war file will be deployed to the server. War is creating in the Jenkins. That war should be deployed to Tomcat. Some script will be executed in the Jenkins to deploy the war file to the server. In order to execute that script, that user should have a permission. That permission is called manager script. The role name is called manager script. Now let's go to our Tomcat server and see what are the users available and what are the roles available for the users. Can you tell me where I can see the users of the Tomcat? Guys, can you tell me where I can see the users of the Tomcat? Web app. Oh my God. In which folder I can see the Tomcat users? Context.xml. Arre babu. Users are available in the conf folder. In the conf folder, go to cd Apache Tomcat, cd conf folder. Inside the conf folder, there is a file called tomcat-users.xml. This is the file tomcat-users.xml. How did you install Tomcat? Guys, is this DevOps 830 batch only? Then why people are asking the questions like this? How do you install Tomcat? We are working on the Tomcat from last 3-4 days. Muhammad, what's wrong with you, sir? I explained about how to install Tomcat and all. Please see the notes. I installed in the regular class and I gave you recorded video also for that. Okay, now Tomcat is installed in our EC2. There I can see tomcat-users.xml, vi, tomcat-users.xml. Can you see the users available in the Tomcat? Now, can you tell me how many users are available in the Tomcat now? Can you tell me how many users are available in the Tomcat now? 2 users available. One is a Tomcat user, another one is the admin user. For admin user, what are the roles available, guys? Can you see the roles? 2 roles available. What are the roles available? Manager GUI, admin GUI. Manager GUI and admin GUI. Okay, what is the role required to execute the script now? What is the role required to execute the script? Manager script role is required. Go to insert mode and create one role here. Role name is equal to manager-script and configure that role for this user. Manager-script. Can you see my username and password? Tomcat username and password. Admin is the username. Admin is the password. One new role I have added for this, and that role is assigned for that admin user. Good. Save it. Try and quit. Now see vi tomcat-users.xml. Vi tomcat-users.xml. Now can you see the new role is added and assigned to the admin user? The new role defined which is manager script, and I have attached that role to admin user. Very good. With this we are good, guys. With this the first step is completed for us. Go to Tomcat server folder and configure below users in the Tomcat users.xml. It will be available in Tomcat server conf folder. In the conf folder, this file will be available, tomcat-users.xml. In that file, I have added these details: manager GUI, manager script, admin GUI. For the admin user, I have configured all these details. Okay, now go to Jenkins dashboard and install deploy container plugin. See here, we have Jenkins. Do you know Jenkins is running or not? How can we check it? Service or sudo systemctl status Jenkins. Sorry, spelling mistake. Sudo. Now, can you tell me the status of Jenkins in my EC2? Jenkins is active or inactive? Jenkins is active or Jenkins is inactive? It is active. Now, can we access the dashboard of the Jenkins? Copy the IP 8080. Okay. Yes, my Jenkins is running. I'm able to access my Jenkins. I'm able to access my Jenkins. Username and password. Click on sign in. I logged in into my Jenkins server. I logged in into my Jenkins server. Yesterday we have created one job. Okay, fine, come back. I want to install Jenkins. I want to install deploy container plugin in the Jenkins. So what are the steps we need to do for that? Manage Jenkins. Manage Jenkins. Go to manage plugins. In this, go to available. Here, type the name as deploy container plugin will be available. There will be a plugin with a name called deploy container. Let me check it. Is it already installed? No. Go to available section. Deploy. Go back. Manage Jenkins. Manage plugins. Go to available. Deploy. Can you see a plugin with a name called deploy to container? Can you see a plugin with a name called deploy to container plugin, guys? Yes or no? Install without restart, download now and install after the restart. Install without restart, install it. Success. Loading the plugin extension. Deploy to container is pending. Loading plugin extensions. It is trying to install a plugin called deploy to container plugin. Now, can you see the plugin got installed? Can you see the plugin got installed? Go to top page. Very good. The plugin got installed here. Manage Jenkins, manage plugins. Go to available. Go to available. Search for deploy container plugin and install. Plugin install it without restart. Okay, that is done. Now, can we create a job in the Jenkins and can we ask that job to deploy? Yes. Before going to do that, let me start my Tomcat server also. CD bin. Then I will take startup.sh. Tomcat is running now. Tomcat is running on which port number? Tomcat is running on the port number 80 or 90. Tomcat server running, server status, username is admin, password is also admin. Okay. List applications. Okay. Maven web app is there. Let me undeploy this. Okay. Now, guys, can you see any application which is available, which I have deployed? I'm undeploying all these things. Can you see any application which is deployed now? These docs examples, these are some default servlet examples are available in the Tomcat. For example, JSP examples available for you. These are the default applications. Do we have any application which we have deployed in the Tomcat? Is there any application which I have deployed in the Tomcat as of now? I have not deployed any application. So with this, Jenkins server is running on the port number 8080. Tomcat server running on the port number 9090. In the Jenkins and Tomcat available in the same VM. Jenkins and Tomcat available in the different VM. Jenkins and Tomcat both are available in the same virtual machine, or they are in the different virtual machines? They are in the same virtual machine. How two applications are running? Different ports are there. But actually, Tomcat port number is 8080. Jenkins port number is also 8080. I have changed the Tomcat port number to 9090. Do you know where to change the Tomcat port number? Do you know where to change the Tomcat port number? Server.xml. Where is that server.xml file? Where is the server.xml file? Conf folder. Excellent. Excellent. Fine. With this, my Jenkins server is running and my Tomcat server is also running. Both are running in the same VM. Tomcat running on the port number 9090. Jenkins running on the port number 8080. Go to server status. Go to applications. Currently, is there any Maven application available in the Tomcat server which is running? Currently, it is not available. Now, I want to create one Jenkins job in the VM. I want to create one Jenkins job which will perform all these 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. 2, 3, 4, 5 steps I want to perform by using Jenkins. Code is already available. My Maven project is already available in the GitHub repository. I want to create a Jenkins job which will take the code from the GitHub repository, which will package that code by using Maven and Java. It will deploy the WAR file to Tomcat server. Can you read the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Now we will implement this practically. I'm going to create the second job in the Jenkins. I'm going to create a second job in the Jenkins. Comfortable, guys? Shall I start the creation of the job now? Shall I start creation of the job now? Okay, very good. Go to Jenkins. So currently there is a job available, passport application dev job available. Now I am not going to touch that. I'm going to create a new job in the Jenkins, which will perform the build and deployment. Right, new item. Guys, you don't worry. For you people, I have given the steps very clearly. If you follow these steps, then you can do that. Okay. You need to follow these steps to create the Jenkins job, and it is going to perform the build and deployment. Now, let's observe carefully. I'm going to create without looking at those steps now. You need to refer those steps when you are practicing. I'm going to Jenkins dashboard, click on a new item, item name, nothing but your job name. I'm going to give it as Ashok IT dev job. Ashok IT project I'm going to build and deploy. Ashok IT dev job, freestyle project, click on OK. Click on OK. I'm selecting freestyle project. Description, you can give anything. Next one, source code management. My project is available in the GitHub, guys. So let me take it from the GitHub repository. I have created our Maven project now. That Maven project repository URL I'm going to take from my Git account. Maven web application. Take the Git repository URL. Select the source code management Git. Give the repository URL. Credentials we have already configured. My GitHub credentials, my Git account credentials I have configured here. This repository is available in my Git account. So I have created the Git credentials yesterday. I'm selecting those credentials. Very good. Now go to build triggers. I'm not selecting anything because I will run the build manually. In future, we are going to understand these options, guys. Currently, I'm not selecting anything on the build trigger. Build environment. I'm selecting delete workspace before build starts. Whatever the previous workspace available for the job, I want to delete it before my build starts. Now, if you select it or if you don't select it, there is no problem. Go to build. What is the build step? What this build has to do? Execute to top level Maven targets. Select the Maven version which we have installed yesterday. Then goals. I want to execute the goals clean and package. Clean means delete the target folder, pack and compile and package that as a WAR file. That is my build step. After build is completed, WAR file will be created. That WAR file I want to deploy to Tomcat server. That is a post build action. Go to post build action. Click on add post build action. Here, can you see one option? Deploy WAR or ER to container. Do you know why we are getting this option in the post build action? The reason we are getting this option is we have installed that deploy container plugin in the Jenkins. Because of this second step, we are able to see post build action as deploy WAR or EAR to container. That means you can deploy the WAR file to a container. What is our container today? Our container is Apache Tomcat. Where is the Apache Tomcat? In the EC2 machine. Okay, now that is my post build action. Build plus deployment. Build completed. With the build step, the build will complete, clean package will execute. Then I want to do post build action. What is my post build action? Deploy the var or er to container. Guys, if you don't install this deploy container plugin, then you cannot see that option here. If you want to see this option here, you have to install the container plugin. So today, first I have installed the container plugin, then I'm creating my job. Select this option, post build action. Okay, here we have to give some details to deploy our var file to Tomcat server. Where is the var file location? Now I am giving some ///star.var. Whatever the var file is available in this job workspace, in this job folder, wherever the var file is available, you take that var file and deploy. Context path. Context path, nothing but what is the project name you want. I'm going to take it as a Ashok IT Web. You can give any name as a context path. Context path name is nothing but what is the project name you want in the URL. Okay, where is the var file? The location of the var file, I'm giving ///.var. I'm giving this context path. You can give any name. I'm giving the name as Ashok IT Web. Container. What is your container? Where you want to deploy this var file of our application? Add container. Tomcat 9.x remote. I'm selecting Tomcat 9.x container. Not only Tomcat, you can select other containers also. Currently in our EC2 machine, Tomcat 9.x is installed. So I'm selecting Tomcat. If you have JBoss, you can go with the JBoss. If you have Glassfish, you can go with the Glassfish. Currently, my EC2 having a Apache Tomcat server with 9.x version. So I'm going with the Tomcat 9.x remote option. Now it is asking Tomcat credentials. Tomcat credential. Ashok IT School credential are the GitHub credential. Now I need to add the Tomcat credentials. Now already we have seen the Tomcat credentials, which is having manager script role. Right now, today I told you we need to add one user with the manager script role. Now that user credentials we have to configure. Username is admin, password is admin. Go to this Tomcat credential, add this credential. Now I'm going to add username and password. Username is admin and the password is also admin for my Tomcat. Click on add. Now I'm going to select admin. This is my Tomcat credential. Tomcat user credential. The user who is having manager script role, that user credentials we have to configure. Now Tomcat URL. Now Jenkins want to deploy the var file to Tomcat server. Where is the Tomcat? Where is the Tomcat? Tomcat is running in this location. This is my Tomcat. http:// IP address of the EC2 VM in which instance the Tomcat is running. Currently, my Tomcat is running in the same VM. Tomorrow, my Tomcat will run in the different VM. In any computer, the Tomcat can run. That Tomcat server IP I am giving and Tomcat port number 9090. So with this, am I able to configure post to build action for deployment? Here, two things I am doing in the job. One is build activity. Second one is deployment activity. See the build steps now. I'm going to create a Ashok IT dev job, general, description, source code management. I have given my Maven repository URL, so Git repository URL, which is having a Maven project. That GitHub credentials I have configured here and I have selected that. Then go to build trigger. Build trigger, I have not selected anything. I can trigger the build whenever I want. Build environment, I am giving delete workspace before build starts. That means whenever I'm going to start the build, previous workspace it has to delete. Then go to build action. When this build happened, when this job executed, what you want to do? I want to execute Maven goals. So I have selected the Maven version, which I have installed in the Jenkins yesterday. And I am executing the Maven goals. Clean and package goals I have selected. That means this Maven should clean that project and should package that project. Package means it is going to create a var file. Once that var file is created, what you want to do? Deployment I want to do. So see the job. Deployment, I have to do 5th step. Once code is downloaded from the Git in the 2nd step, Jenkins will execute the Maven goals. Maven will interact with the Java software. It will compile and it will package. Once the Maven packaging is completed, Jenkins should deploy the WAR file to server. That is called post build. Up to Maven is a build activity. After the build, what you want to do? Deploy. That is, I'm configuring as a post build action. Coming to post build action and select the option as deploy the WAR file to container here. Now I'm giving the location of the WAR file. WAR file will be anywhere in this job, wherever this .war is available, you take that WAR file. Then context path. What is the name you want to give for the project? You can give any name. Generally, we will give the project name here and select the container. I have selected the container as a Tomcat 9.x because in my EC2 Tomcat 9.x is installed and it is up and running. Now I have configured the Tomcat user credential. Make sure this user is having manager script permission. Then only it can do the deployment. Otherwise, it cannot do the deployment. Now admin user I have configured Tomcat admin. The Tomcat admin is having manager script permission also. And I'm giving the Tomcat URL because Jenkins should know where is the Tomcat so that this Jenkins can deploy the WAR file to the Tomcat. Tomcat may be available in the same instance, same EC2 instance, or it can be available in the different EC2 instance also. You need to give the address of your Tomcat in this URL section. Once it is done, click on apply and click on save. Okay. Finally, my Jenkins job got created. What is that job, guys? Ashok IT dev job created. Last success not applicable. Last failure not applicable. Last duration not applicable. That means it is a fresh job. Just now I have created this job. Okay. Okay, I have created this job in the Jenkins just now. Can you go to this job? Can you see all the configuration available for the job now? General configuration, nothing is available. Source code management. Now, guys, let me give the screenshots for you how I have created this job. Ashok IT dev job I have created. Inside the general, I have not selected anything. This is step 1. Okay. Now after that, source code management, I have configured my GitHub repository URL and I have configured my Git credential also. This is my step 2. Now after that, build trigger. I have not configured anything in the build trigger. I left this build trigger as empty. That is my step 3. Then after, I'm going to build environment. Here I have selected one option, that is delete workspace before build starts. For every build, I want to delete that previous workspace. Step 4. Then coming to build action, step 5. I have selected Maven version and I have selected top level Maven goals, clean package goals I have selected. This is my step 5. The next one, post build action. This is a bit lengthy. In the post build action, I have configured deploy WAR to container. I have given the WAR location and I have given the Tomcat and Tomcat credentials. Finally, save and apply. That is my post to build action. It is a total 6-step process. Can you see? Build a description, source code management, Git repository URL, and Git account credentials. Build triggers, I have not selected anything. Build environment, delete workspace before build starts. Build action, Maven and Maven goals. Post build action, I select the deploy WAR to container, WAR file location, context path, and container I have selected. Container credentials also I have added. Finally, I have saved my job. My Jenkins job is saved. Are you guys comfortable with this process? Now, before going to run this job, Can we go to default home directory of Jenkins in our Linux machine? Can you tell me where the Jenkins is installed? Can you tell me where the Jenkins installed in our Linux? Can we go to the location of the Jenkins? This is the location of the Jenkins. cd space var lib Jenkins workspace. Now ls-l. Okay. Is there any job available related to Ashok IT? Is there any job available with a name called Ashok IT? In the Jenkins workspace, there is no job available with this. Okay, now it is good. Let me see the Tomcat location, Tomcat web apps folder. Duplicate session I'm going to take, guys. I'm connecting to another session, duplicate session. Do I have this option? Duplicate tab. Very good. Now to same Linux, I have two tabs. Same VM, I have two tabs. How I have opened another tab? Every time I am going to Jenkins folder, going to Tomcat folder, CD, going inside that directory, coming out from the directory is difficult for me. So what I have done, I have opened another tab for the same EC2. Right click on this EC2 user, which is displaying duplicate tab. To the same machine, I have opened one more tab. Now, what is my present working directory? EC2 user, ls-l Apache Tomcat, cd space Apache Tomcat, cd space web apps, ls-l. Now, can you see in this web apps folder, is there any WAR file available currently? In this web apps folder, do we have any WAR file currently? There is no WAR file available in the web apps folder. Can you tell me what is a web apps folder actually in the Tomcat? What is web apps? What is the purpose of web apps in the Tomcat? What is the purpose of web apps in the Tomcat? Can you tell me, guys? That is a deployment folder, right? Any application you want to deploy, that WAR file we need to keep in the web apps folder. Do I have any WAR file in this web apps folder currently, or I don't have any WAR file in this web apps folder currently? I want your response. Please respond. 90 people are there in the class. Only two or three people responding. Remaining people are sleeping. What is the purpose of web apps folder? What is the purpose of web apps folder? Deployment purpose. WAR file we need to keep in the web app so that WAR file will be deployed to Tomcat. Fine. I don't have any WAR file in the web apps. Now go to Jenkins workspace. Do I have any job with a name called Ashok IT name? No job available in the Jenkins with Ashok IT. No WAR file available in the web apps. Okay. My job is ready. Shall I start the job now? Can I execute my job? What is the option I need to choose to execute my job? Build now. Okay. Can you tell me what this job is going to do? Which steps will be executed by this job now? You can see the numbers in this diagram, right? What are the numbers are going to execute now? Can you tell me the sequence? What the job is going to do now? Which steps will be executed now? One, two, three, four, five is executing. 2, 3, 4, 5 is executing, or 3, 4, 5 executing, or only 4, 5 executing? Which steps are going to execute by this job now? 2, 3, 4, 5. Srija, you are wrong. Not 3, 4, 5. It will execute 2, 3, 4, 5. It is going to download the code. How to take the code from the Git clone? It will clone the Git repository. It will execute the Maven goals. That means it is going to compile and it is going to package. Then it is going to deploy the WAR file. Deployment is a pre-build action. Deployment is a post-build action. ठीक है? चलो, all of you, भगवान को नमस्कार करो भाई. We are going to execute end-to-end build option now. सब लोग एक बार भगवान को नमस्कार करो. I'm going to click on the build now. नमस्कार किया? जय बोलो गणेश महाराज की. Come on guys, people are not responding. We have created a job by spending almost 1 hour. Now we want to get that output. Jai bolo Ganesh Maharaj ki. We will run this. ठीक है? If the job is failed, that means some people are not doing that namaskar. हाँ, सब लोग नमस्कार करें तो जॉब सक्सेस हो जाएगा. ठीक है. Click on build now. Come on guys. I'm also praying. Jai bolo Ganesh Maharaj ki. Jai. Click on this. Build now. Started. Started. Click on this number. Click on this number. Go to console output. Wow. It started by Ashok IT. It is running. Job is running. Build success. Deployment also success. Guys, job executed successfully. Only build happened. Build plus deployment happened. Build happened. Build plus deployment happened. Both happened. Build happened and deployment also happened. Now go here first. Go to the Tomcat and check the web apps folder. Can you see a WAR file in the web apps? Can you see the WAR file in the web apps? What is the WAR file name? Ashok IT Web. Where I have given this WAR file name? Do you remember the Jenkins job I have created that? In the Jenkins job I have given as a context path, post to build action. Can you see the context path name? Ashok IT-web I have given. Okay, the WAR file is copied to web apps folder. Can you see Ashok IT job in the Jenkins? Yes or no? That job is created in the Jenkins. Very good. Now go to Tomcat admin dashboard. Can you see Ashok IT Web? Can you see Ashok IT Web application deployed in the Tomcat? Ashok IT Web project deployed in the Tomcat. Click on this application. Wow, my project is loaded. My project is loaded. My project is executed. Can you access this now? Is my project running? Is my project running? Can you access the URL? So build and deployment automated or build and deployment not automated? Build and deployment automated. So this deployment is daily activity or deployment is one-time activity in the real time? Build and deployment is a daily activity or one-time activity? Build and deployment is a daily activity or build and deployment is one-time activity? Guys, that box, that black color box you are seeing now, that is the chat box. I am reading your chat messages. That is the box that is hiding. that is the chat box. Whatever the replies you are giving, I am reading that chat messages. So that is the black color box that you are seeing. Build and deployment is a daily activity or it is a one-time activity? Build and deployment is a daily activity, guys. Job creation is one-time activity. Build and deployment is daily activity. If the code is modified, again I have to build and deploy. People are saying build deployment is one-time activity. That is wrong. Job creation is one-time activity. Job we will create one time. Build and deployment we are going to do every day. Developers are going to modify the code, right? Developers are going to modify the code. Then you have to do the build and deployment. Build and deployment is a daily activity. Job creation is one-time activity. Okay. Okay, now can you see here my project is loaded. It is displaying welcome to Ashok IT. Learn here, lead anywhere is our slogan. Some information is displaying. Some contact number is displaying. Send a WhatsApp message. Click here to see Ashok IT training schedule. Some information is displaying in the web page. Can I modify my web page code in the GitHub repository? Can I modify my web page code in the repository, guys? Yes or no? If I modify the code, do we need to do the build and deployment again? Yes. Let me go to my repository, GitHub repository, go to index.jsp. Let me modify the message. Can you see what is the message now? Send WhatsApp message is available. I will change that text now. I will change that text. Edit this file in the repository. Send WhatsApp message to Ashok IT admin team. Send WhatsApp message to Ashok IT admin team. Now, Ashok IT is available. Welcome to Ashok IT Software Training Institute. Welcome to Ashok IT Software Training Institute. Software Training Institute. I am modifying some code and I have committed my code into Git repository. Whatever the code I have committed in the Git repository, is it reflecting in my server? I'm refreshing. I'm sending a request. Is it refreshing in my browser web page? My project source code modified in the Git repository. Is it reflecting in the server or it is not reflecting in the server? I have modified the code in the Git repository. Is it reflecting in the server or it is not reflecting in the server? It is not reflecting in the server. Why? Code is modified in the repository, but you are accessing the server. So the code which is modified in the repository, it is not deployed into the server. Now what I have to do? Developers modified the code. Then what I have to do now? Do I need to do the Jenkins job execution or not? Now tell me, build and deployment is one-time activity. Build and deployment is a daily activity. It is a daily activity. Now, in order to deploy the latest code, do I need to create the job again, or I can just run the job which is already created? Do I need to create the job once again, or I need to run the job which is already created? Now, tell me, first time it is taking time to create the job. Now, deployment, can I do within fraction of seconds now? Can I do the deployment within fraction of seconds now? So what I need to do? What I need to do now? Go to my Jenkins. How many times my job is executed? Ashok IT dev job. What is the build number available already? 1 is available. Access the application Ashok IT. Old message is coming. Welcome to Ashok IT. Let me run the build and execute now. Let me do the job. Click on build now. Click on build now. My build is scheduled. Second build is executing now. Can you see? Second time my build executed. Second time I build executed. Second time build success. My second build is success. Second build, what happened? It is cloning the Git repository again. It is doing the build and it is doing the deployment. Refresh the project. Can you see the latest message is deployed? The latest code is deployed to the server or not? Can you see the latest code is deployed to the server or not? Can I say I have automated my build and deployment process of the project? Can I say the build and deployment process is automated in my project? So if I want to do this deployment manually, how much time it will take? If I want to do this build and deployment manually, how much time it will take? I have to clone the repository. I have to compile the project. I have to package the project. I have to upload the WAR file to the server. I have to stop the server. I have to start the server. Minimum to minimum 15 to 30 minutes of time it is going to take. Half an hour. Half an hour it is going to take. Suppose if I have 5 environments to deploy my application, 5 half an hours, 2.5 hours, you need to deploy the project. But now, do I need 2.5 hours to deploy the project? Just one button click, 1 second. Within 1 second, I can deploy my project. That is called DevOps, development plus operations. Developers are writing the code and pushing the code to Git repository. Developers are doing the deployment of the code. How the developers are pushing the code to Git repository, we know already. How the DevOps people deploying the code to server? Jenkins we are using to automate the build and deployment process. In the Jenkins, I have created a job. When I run that job is going to take the code from the Git repository. That job is taking the code from the Git repository and it is executing the Maven package goal and it is deploying the war file to the Tomcat server. Build plus deployment is automated. If developers modify the code, now again I'm going to modify my code. Now see here, go to Git repository, edit this file, send a WhatsApp message to Ashok ID admin team for more information. I'm just changing for more information. Okay, now change this, commit the change. I have committed the change to GitHub repository. Is it reflecting in the server? I have modified this message in the GitHub repository. Is it reflecting? Is it reflecting or not reflecting? Not reflecting. Where is the code modified? Where is the code modified? Developer modified some code in the Git repository. Now, how to deploy the latest code to the server? Just go here, go to the Jenkins and run the build. Start time, I'm going to run my build. Do the build now. Now you see build number 3 will be generated here. Now you see build 3 is executing. Build 3 is executing. Yes, executed within fraction of seconds. Now refresh your project. Is that latest message coming? Is that latest message coming now? How beautiful it is. Developers are integrating the code into Git repository. DevOps people are deploying that code into server by using Jenkins. It is just a button click to deploy the project into server. That is what industry is doing. That is what industry is expecting. Within fraction of seconds, we are able to deploy the project into the server. The server is running in the AWS cloud. Project source code is available in the GitHub. Project is developed by using Java. Project is using Maven as a build tool. Everything is integrated and we have developed this Jenkins job. We have automated the build and deployment process of our Java Maven web application. And we are using the platform AWS to run our server, and the war file is deployed to the Tomcat server, which is running in the AWS EC2 machine. Now tell me, DevOps is difficult? DevOps is easy. When you see this diagram, before class is going to start, Hare, kya hai bhai, GitHub hai, Jenkins hai, Maven hai, Java hai, Tomcat hai, ye kaise integrate hota? Developers are writing the code, how to deploy. It is just a button click now. It is just a button click now. Jobs, execution. It is just a button click. If you click the button, code will be deployed to server. Now, are you feeling the real definition for the DevOps? Development plus operations is called DevOps. What is the difference between development and operations now? Developers are going to write the code. The developers are going to keep the code into GitHub repository. So as a DevOps engineer, you need to perform the operations after the development. They have done the development. Now, whenever the code modified, then you need to do the deployment. Currently, deployment, how the deployment is happening? Am I doing the deployment? Am I doing the deployment by clicking the button, or Jenkins is doing the deployment automatically? Jenkins is doing the deployment automatically, or I am telling to Jenkins to do the deployment. I am telling to Jenkins to do the deployment. I'm clicking on that button. But actually, you no need to click that button also. There is an option in the Jenkins. Let me show you. You will really get shocked. Go to configure. There is a build trigger option is available now. If you select poll SCM, if I select poll SCM, now I am giving star. Now I'm giving 5 stars. That means what? Every minute. Now click on apply, click on save. What is my build trigger condition, guys? Can you tell me? What is the build trigger condition I have given? It is a periodical build or it is a pole SCM? Is it a periodical build or it is a pole SCM? It is a pole SCM. Click on apply, click on save. Pole SCM means when you modify the code in the Git repository, automatically Jenkins is going to execute that job and will do the deployment. That is the real automation. Continuous integration, continuous deployment. Now, guys, see how many builds happen now? Can you see how many builds happen now? Can you tell me the build count? Total builds happened for this job now? Total 3 builds happened. Total 3 builds happened. Okay, let me go to this Git repository. Let me modify the file now. Edit. Welcome to Ashok IT Software Training Institute, Hyderabad location. Hyderabad location. Okay, now I'm doing the commit. I have committed. Now verify. I don't do anything in the Jenkins now. Let's verify. Oh, build started. Number 4 started automatically. Did I run that job or automatically it started? Build 4. God. Automatically build started. Why the build started automatically? Why automatically build started? Go to server. See here. Latest code reflecting in the server. Am I doing the deployment? Am I clicking the button? Am I telling the Jenkins to do the deployment? Or Jenkins is doing automatically? Why Jenkins has done this deployment automatically? Every minute it will do the deployment, huh? Or when the code is modified, it will do the deployment, huh? Every minute it will do the deployment, huh? When code is modified, it will do the deployment, huh? When the code modified, then only it will do the deployment. Now, let me do the code changes again. Go to this file, click on edit. Let me remove this Hyderabad location. Okay, here I'm giving welcome to Ashok IT Software Training Institute. Learn here, lead anywhere. Here I'm going to write some other text also. H3, we are located at Hyderabad. I'm adding some other line. Commit the changes. I have committed my changes Git repository. Come here, check the Git, check the Jenkins. Check the Jenkins. 4 builds already completed. Let's wait for that. Let's wait. See what is the behavior of the Jenkins job now. I have committed my code. Let's wait and observe the Jenkins job, what it will do. Let's wait and see. Wow. Automatically build is triggering, or I am triggering the build, or automatically build is triggering? Automatically build is triggering, or I am triggering the build? Can you see the build number 5? Can you see the build number 5? Executed. Go to the server. See that. Is it reflecting? Whatever the code I have committed in the GitHub, is it reflecting in my application? Come on, guys. Whatever the code I have committed, is it reflecting in my application? How the Jenkins understood that code is modified? How the Jenkins understood that my code is modified? I enabled a concept for the build trigger. When the build should be triggered, I have configured as a pole SCM. What is this cron expression? Every minute, guys. This cron expression not for every minute execution. This cron expression I have given in the pole SCM. For every minute, it is going to check the GitHub. Is there any change? Is there any change? Every minute it is going to check. If I select build periodically, if I give 5 stars, then whether change available in the GitHub or not, automatically it is going to trigger the build for every minute. Here, am I giving the build periodical option? Am I giving the pole SCM option? I am giving the pole SCM. What is the meaning of pole SCM? Cron. Every minute, it will check with the Git repository. Hey Git, anything modified in you? Hey Git, anything modified? Every minute the Jenkins is going to talk to GitHub. Hey Git, anything modified? It will wait 1 minute. Again, after 1 minute, it will go. Anything modified? After 1 minute, again it will go. GitHub, anything modified? If anything modified, trigger the build. Now, can I say it is continuous integration and continuous deployment? If a developer modify the code, immediately the code will be deployed to the server. Everything is automated. Everything is automated. We are able to see the real benefit of the DevOps today. We are able to see the real benefit of the DevOps today. Developers are doing the coding. Developers will commit the code to repository. When the code modified, immediately my Jenkins job is going to execute and it is going to deploy the code into server. Within fraction of seconds, everything is happening. Development plus operations. DevOps. DevOps is a technology, or DevOps is a culture, or DevOps is a process. Now, can you tell me, DevOps is a technology or DevOps is a process to collaborate the development and operational work? It is a process. How many of you enjoyed the today's session? Build plus deployment, automated, continuous integration, continuous deployment. Continuous integration, continuous deployment. If you modify the code, then it is going to deploy. Now, do you understand how industry is implementing CI/CD? Now, do you understand how the industry is implementing CI/CD? Difficult or easy? Difficult or easy? Now, can I change? Now, see here, 1 minute completed. Na? Already 1 minute completed. Sixth build executed. Sixth build is not executed. Why sixth build not executed? Already 1 minute completed, right? Why it not executed? I have given 5 stars. Every minute build should execute, right? The configuration is to execute the build for every minute, or the configuration is to check the changes for every minute? Whatever the poll SCM 5 stars I have given, is it to execute the build for every minute, or is it to check the changes in the Git for every minute? Check the changes for every minute. If changes happened in the GitHub, if there is a commit in the GitHub, then build will start. If there is no commit, then build will not start. Real CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment, continuous integration, continuous delivery. When developer modifies some code, immediately my Jenkins job is going to trigger automatically, and it is going to do the deployment, build plus deployment. Samjha? Okay, now almost 2 to 3 minutes completed, still sixth build not executed. Can you tell me the reason why sixth build not executed? Can you tell me the reason why sixth build not executed? Code changed or code not changed? Code not changed. There is no change in the source code. There is no change in the source code. That's why build is not happened. Can I edit some code in the file? Can I make some change in the repository, Git repository? Can I make some change in the Git repository? Yes. Go to the Git repository. Edit this file. We are located at Hyderabad, Amirpet. We are located at Hyderabad, Amirpet. Okay. Welcome to Ashok IT. Welcome to Ashok IT, which is leading software training institute. I added the message here and I added the message here. I have modified something in the file. Committed. I have committed that. Now wait. Now see the Jenkins behavior now. As of now, 5 builds completed. Wow. 6th build already started. Guys, see the magic here. See the magic. Am I running the build or Jenkins automatically running the build? 6th job also, 6th build executed. Refresh. Can you see the latest change? Ashok IT leading software training. We are located at Hyderabad, Amirpet. How beautiful concept it is. CI/CD. CI/CD. Guys, understood? Understood? Okay, good. I want you guys to practice this concept, guys. If you do this now, if you do this automatically, if you do this automatic concept now, your confidence levels will increase to attend the interview, because real DevOps engineer will do the same thing, man. Real DevOps engineers also will do the same thing. One time job creation we will do. Whenever the code is changed, then automatically it is going to do.